both players. It's time to start this afternoon matinee matchup. Let's count it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And here we go. It's level 18 starts for the entirety of this one. Division 1 players do have the option of choosing a level 19 start, but neither of these two wanted to do a 19, so we began on 18 for all of the games, 3, 4, or 5, however many it is. We'll get to know our players as this match goes on, starting on the left with Alice. Now, she has been to a couple of CTWCs, 2022 and this past year, 2025. Lost to Dan V back in 22 and lost to Meme this past year. Meme, of course, the second place finisher at CTWC this year. Now, Alice has done more CTMs than she can count, and CTL off and on since season number 7. So she is present in both the in-person and the online scene. Outside of Tetris, Alice enjoys playing Counter-Strike and Smash Melee. And for sports, she does badminton. No, when she's asked about any notable feats, awards, or competitions won outside of Tetris, she says, "Unfortunately, I'm only good at Tetris." But there you go. A little bit of fun facts about Alice. And here we are at about 30 lines. She does have the lead. Briefly until SV takes it back, 183k to 186k. SV up by a couple thousand points. Board's looking pretty good out of these two. A Tetris for SV. We are still hanging around that 2,000 point advantage or deficit, depending on who you're looking at. But an interesting hang there from Alice. It's going to be resolved with a T-Tuck, so easily solved, making this look way too easy as Alice. But SV also making it look easy, currently in the lead, 277k to 255,000. We're over 50 lines in. Both players throwing down Tetrises, so the gap has been narrowed to one line. One line of difference, and now we are tied. Who is going to break that tie? Exactly the same Alice does with the Tetris, and she is sitting on a 690,000 pace. Hey now. SV is going to throw down a Tetris about the same pace, about another 690. It's a double hey now. Level 19 transition pace. Another Tetris for SV will give him the lead. This one is still fairly close and great pace from both players. 402k for Alice, 417,000 for SV. As the Tetrises continue to rain down, you look at those Tetris rates, 83% for Alice, but 89% for SV. Make it 90 after that Tetris. If they're able to maintain this, we're going to be looking at some monster transitions heading into 19. But neither player showing any signs of letting up here in this game 1. We're going to hit the turn with both players over 500,000 points, so that should tell you we're on track for potential 600k or higher transitions. But Alice will have to burn 496,000, then a Tetris. Both players dealing with that drought. It's going to end around 20-something pieces, maybe. We hope 24 pieces. SV cannot Tetris with it. But we'll get a Tetris great last-minute adjustment to save those lines and not burn a triple for him. 565,000 to 535,000. Alice with the lead, up by a little over a Tetris, but also up 9 lines in the count. So maybe not a true lead, as SV does have the higher Tetris rate. As we approach level 19, Alice misses the T-spin, so probably going to do a little bit of burning here, which means likely only 1 Tetris before 19 for her. SV will end up burning a line that will take away a Tetris pre-transition, but he's still got 1 more after this one. Nah, you good, Tyler. I am a man of many talents, and streaming while DMing is indeed one of them. But now we're on to 19. 658K for SV, 664K for Alice. And a burn followed by a Tetris for SV. We're only separated by 5,000 points here into level 20. Both players on identical 82% Tetris rates. Just pouring it on here. The seed doing them kind. And we'll see just how high these scores can go when all is said and done. And hello, Summer B. Good to see you again. Welcome back to CTL action. I did not expect we'd have back-to-back-to-back toast streams on CTL, but they needed a streamer. So here we are, and oh my gosh, what a Z-burst. SV survives it, but now the board is probably higher than both of these players would like, although those Tetrises will bring it down. And I will say both players are on identical 1.2 million paces for the kill screen. So I don't think it's a question of if they'll max out before 29. It's more a question of when. And that 22-piece drought will certainly throw some flavor into that question. And some are saying Toast is the premier CTL streamer. I don't know if I'd go that far. I do what I can, but I would say there's probably some folks out there a little better at this than I am, and also have been doing this a lot longer than I have. I mean, it seems like you also have seen me a lot, but I only started doing CTL super shows back in, I think, July. So still kind of new to the scene here as we're getting closer to Max Out City. 869K, hey now for Alice, 976 for SV. SV has opened up a lead of 3 Tetrises here, so gaining some separation as we're into level 26. And a Max Out for SV. He's got the 1.017. Alice is over 900,000 into level 27, which, as we all know, the worst color scheme in Tetris of the normal colors. I have to put that disclaimer in there because, you know, if I don't, someone's going to say, well, you know, what about charcoal? And thanks for coming, Trebus. Trebus saying, love me some toast. I can't argue with that logic. But we are nearing the kill screen. 2 more Tetrises for both players. SV set up for the column 3. Alice gets the right well Tetris. Goes into kill screen with the 1.06 million. SV with the 1 final Tetris will go in with that 1.226 million into 29. So SV pouring it on right now, leading by 4 Tetrises as we are into our final 100 lines of this game. Again, reminder, that line cap, that double kill screen is at level 39. It is at 330 lines. We'll see if these players can get there. And Tyler mentioning that 21 is the hardest level to see for them. And before we get back to that, let's see if Alice can survive this board. She cannot. She tops out, and SV takes it with a 1.269 million. Hey now. And gets the first heart of the match. Now, since you mentioned that, Tyler, I got to ask, it's been posted a few times in wars. Did you take the colorblind test? Because for some of these, if you're having trouble seeing the colors, it might be a sign that you're legit colorblind. Oh, and Hana saying in some cases the Retron makes the gray-black. Yeah, that would not be fun. But SV now into level 34, tries to set up for a dirty column 7, will not get it, but will continue to burn. Rolling like a madman over here, getting this board brought down. Into 35 with a 1.35 million, but the board's starting to crumble. He can't put the pieces in, and he tops out, but does have the win. 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Now, I know in my case, the 27 colors, in particular, it is, I believe it's the S and the L, or no, the Z and the L, I think it is. If not, it's the other way around, because the dark red of that blends in with the black of the background, so I can't really see those pieces when they come down, depending on the setup. 24 is in that area, but not quite as bad. But it varies for every person. My color blindness is red-green. Your mileage may vary. But we got to know Knight a little bit to start. Now we're going to get to know SV, whose first online match was back in April of 2021. So almost time to celebrate that 5-year Tetrisversary. First match was actually a friendly against Dan V, where Dan V got the 3-0 win. But not long after that, SV was already into CTWC Silver, where he played Aizen Anthony and then lost to Josh Tolles in the next round. That was back in 2021. But then from there, it was a quick jump to CTL and an illustrious history of matches for SV, including a few against Alice. We'll get to those in a little bit here, as we are 34 lines in or so. 161K for Alice, 145,000 for SV, who is setting up for a dirty center well Tetris. And of course, once that setup happens, then no, of course, which piece you need does not show up. And now SV doing a little burn here. We'll need to get that left side brought down and open up that center well once again. But good pace and good scoring from Alice. 234K, make it 257K to 177,000 for SV, who does, in time, get that dirty center well. But it is Alice with the lead of just over 2 Tetrises. And SV remaining committed to that dirty center well setup. Will get a couple of burns and keeps it open, but now entering a drought here on SV's side. 18 pieces so far. How many more will we have to wait for a long bar to show up? There it is at 24 pieces, and again, committed to that dirty column 3 Tetris as Alice gets one halfway to transition. She is at a 600,000 pace. SV is at about a 500,000 pace at the moment. Now a little bit of piece variety on his end, so we'll see if he decides to maintain this dirty center well Tetris setup. And I think that is the case, as he have now shifted it to column 5, but instead gets a triple. Meanwhile, Knight, for the most part, still having a clean board over here. Waiting for that Z piece. Does get the Z spin. And we'll also get the Tetris. She's over 400,000 points at about 90 lines. SV, meanwhile, at 315,000. So the lead for Alice, hovering around 4 Tetrises. Now SV has brought the board down and transitioned over to that right Tetris well, abandoning the dirty well setup for the time being. But what is not being abandoned is this drought. The drought is back, folks. 28 pieces, and it's still going. Over 30 pieces, it ends at 31, and both players capitalize with a Tetris. But this lead for Knight remains a decently sized one. 5 Tetrises over 100 lines is the current advantage. 486k to 392k, Alice in the lead. Alice has this T-spin setup, does get the T-spin, and it keeps that board nice and clean, ready for a Tetris. But guess what, folks? It's another drought. This one rapidly approaching 20 pieces and beyond. How long are we going to have to wait this time for a long bar? Please don't tell me we got another 30-piece drought in the works. Well, okay, we do have a 30-piece. This one, 31 pieces. Both players capitalize with a Tetris, though. Great stack management from both of them as they're about a Tetris away from transition. SV gets it at 468,000, and Alice is going to wait for one long bar, fills the dependency first, and will Tetris in at 582,000. After some early struggles, it looks like SV has got things under control once again. Was down by 5 Tetrises at one point. Currently, that lead was at 3 Tetrises and change, but Alice has brought it back up to a 4 Tetris advantage. Now into level 21. Again, the lead around 100,000 points, 712,000. Oh, got another. It's a back-to-back Tetris for Alice. 739k to 583,000. And SV looking for that Tetris in column number 7 will get it. It's a dirty column 7 Tetris. Hello, Adam Verbus. Good to see you. We've got some matinee Tetris happening here. SV looking at about a 900k kill screen, maybe a little more than that. Alice looking at not quite a 1.2, but I believe that would be a 1.18 million into 29. But SV now going back to dirty Tetrises, set up in the right well. Will get the long bar, and now could transition over to the right side once again. We got some good solid building out of both players. Nothing too exciting to note as Alice gets the L tuck, excuse me, puts that piece right in the little gap. SV will do the same with a J tuck. So both players utilizing the J tuck strategy. Both players getting a Tetris, and both players into level 26 as Alice with a max out 1.018 million. SV at 837,000. So we make our way to the kill screen and potentially beyond. Right, SV back to a center well setup potentially. He is ready. This is going to be a standard center well Tetris, but he's got to put some weight on the well as we have entered a drought, which means the long bar doesn't come when SV wants it, but it comes when Alice wants it. Gets a Tetris, nearing a 1.1 million here, with 2 more potential Tetrises remaining. And SV is in all likelihood burning into the kill screen and will do so with a 954,000. So a 4 Tetris advantage for Alice into the kill screen with a 1.142 million on the score. Now Alice long bar dependent on the left. Things are starting to fall apart a little bit. Can she get this board brought down? A drought is forming. Probably the best case scenario for both players. It ends around 25 pieces, but since there was a drought, it certainly means that the opposition cannot get any Tetrises either, regardless of how the board looks. But we're now into level 31. 1.17 for Alice, 1.026 for SV. the lead around 150,000. That is 3 Tetrises and change at this rate. And SV just working to get this board down. Wants to open up column number 4, but has to put some weight on it. And Alice also getting burnt down. Wants to get column 8 open. We'll see if she can make that happen here shortly. And there it is. Column 8's open, but more gaps forming. SV is basically down to the bottom. And was for a moment about to be Tetris ready. So both players fighting with RNG, working to keep their boards open. Alice doing her best to stave off this run from SV. And now Alice Tetris ready. We'll wait to see if that long bar shows up. She's trying to burn and hold out. Gets the Tetris, 1.284 million. We have only 25 lines until the double kill screen on 39. Can SV play aggressive enough to get the lead from Alice before hitting level 39? Only 15 lines to go. It's about 4 Tetrises left. SV is under 2 Tetrises down, but Alice fires one back. Will we get double kill screen here as Alice fires another Tetris down? I don't know if SV has enough runway left to do it. One more Tetris for SV. He's going to have to do something magical on 39 to make it happen. Setting up for at least one Tetris, but there's a drought, 21 pieces, and both players top out at 328 and 329 lines. Oh my goodness. Alice survives at 1.485 million to 1.3 at SV. An insane run to level 39 ends at level 38. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Okay, fine, Summer. 1 click and 1 login. And if you do that, then you've put some money into the Matcherino. That's something even I can do, and in fact, I have already done so. Now, I did mention that these two have played before. There are 3 previous matches on the record, 2 of them for ELO, 1 of them not for ELO. The first time these two met was in an ELO battle back in April of 2022, and SV won that 3-1. The other games taken by Alice, one was a Tetris friendly back in June of 2022. It was a 3-1 victory for Alice. And Alice also won in Season 29 of CTL in a sweep. That was back in May of 2025. So SV struck first, but Alice has come back to take the next 2. So we'll see if SV is able to even up this all-time series or if Alice is going to take a 3-1 lead. But now we got a slight reversal from game 2. Now it is Alice with that dirty center well Tetris setup. Waiting for that long bar. There it is. Dirty center well Tetris for Alice. And much like SV was in game 2, Alice is committed to that dirty center well. She'll take a safety triple and wait for the long bar to show up. And of course, now that we're waiting, we have a drought. But it's going to end with a Tetris for both. It's going to be about a 410K pace for Alice and about a 520K pace for SV. So we're a third of the way to level 19. And hey, I guess peer pressure works as we've had some direct contributions. A donation from Summer B, $31.31, evens it up at $200 in the prize pool. Summer B letting you know that also puts money in the Matcherino toast. Well, today I learned. Anna saying, yes, guys, bullying works. And if you're being bullied by Toast of all people, you know you did something wrong. Or maybe I just like giving people crap. I haven't decided yet. But we are halfway to 19. 510K is the pace for Alice. And for SV, it's still about a 540K pace. So he's maintained what he had. in the first 40 or so lines. And Summer B letting us know what's up. Always bully people into donating for Tetris. I don't know if I can do it too often, but I'm sure there are other streamers that would love to bust the chops of people to put something into that matcherino. But as far as this game here, 370,000 for Alice, 338,000 for SV. We're about 90 lines in on level 18. But if Hana and Summerby are encouraging me to bully, then I guess I have to follow suit because there are more viewers here than coupon codes left. So there should be no reason that there are any coupon codes left after this one is done. There you go. There is your bullying. Are you happy now? And having passed the turn here, 463,000 for Alice. SV now working on a dirty center well Tetris. He's at 414,000, and he will get the dirty center well. And now gonna either keep burning to bring the board down, or I guess you could go for another dirty center well, but that one's just gonna be a triple, and he'll get that right well almost open here. And there it is open. All right, and Hana saying, yeah, I got my quota of bullying for the day, so Hana's good for the time being. We're about good with level 18. One more Tetris left for SV, and he will go in at 493,000. Alice has 2 more Tetrises available, but if she burns a line, she's going to lose a Tetris. But she does not, and goes in at 604,000. This lead is 4 Tetrises and change at the transition. SV with a T-tuck setup does get the T-piece tucked right in there on the right side and will be rewarded as both players getting a simul Tetris. Entering level 20. SV doing his best to eat away at this lead here. It's about 3 Tetrises for Alice, but every time he puts a Tetris down, Alice fires right back with one of her own. And if that happens to continue, we could see a similar case to what we had last game, where it was basically a war of survival on the kill screen. Both players still throwing down Tetrises. As SV is over a max out pace, this is about a 1.05, maybe a 1.06, and a simul Tetris, but Alice just below a 1.2 right now, though I would say if she gets a Tetris, she is definitely on 1.2 pace. There we go. There is the Tetris, a 1.2 pace for Alice at this point. And Looney pointing out the simul text is shown live? Why, yes, it is. And Hana and Summer on the spot saying, yeah, it's part of the Nestris Champs package that we use to put these CTL matches on. And in fact, some of you may have also seen it at CTWC, or not CTWC, excuse me, the Jonas Cup. I know there was a match on CT2 that Ethan Thoughts and I were commentating. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I see the simul Tetris text pop up. I did a double click. I'm like, wait, I didn't realize they had it on here too. Because I hadn't seen it on CT1, so it might have just been a CT2 thing. But in this game here, we've got Alice with the lead of 2 Tetrises and change, 985,000 to now 935 as SV throws one down. Alice looking for an L piece to the left, gets one over, throws down a Tetris. There is the max out for her. There is the max out for SV. Both getting it on level 27. But Alice about a Tetris back in the line sequence. Well, now 10 lines back, but it will hover here and there. And now 2 Tetrises left for SV before the kill screen. And possibly 3 for Alice unless she takes a burn. But SV going to get that dirty column 8 Tetris into 29, 1.09 million for him. Alice still with 1 more Tetris she can get before level 29 happens. She's got 1 more burn to work with, gets the Tetris, 1.14 for her, 1.16 for SV. Although noteworthy, he is on level 30 at the moment. So take that line count differential into consideration, as it may not tell, as the actual score may not tell the whole story of who is really in charge of this game at the moment. But currently SV up by half a Tetris. 1.212 for Alice, 1.238 for SV. SV working to get all of these gaps in his stack cleared up. He's got some kill screen Swiss cheese going on. Definitely not the type of Swiss cheese you enjoy, especially when you're trying to go up 2-1 in a CTL battle. And all of this burning has allowed Alice to creep into the lead. She is now up by a Tetris and change. She has the 1.3. And will now work to continue and grow this lead she has, as SV's board is in trouble. Can he get out of this? The answer is no, he cannot. And Alice will take game number 3, now leading 2-1. 1.32 million, now 1.36 million to 1.26 for SV. Right, Alice playing this out. She has the rollover and now needs 1 more line for the double kill screen. Will she get level 39? She will. 1.66 million into level 39. I do believe that is the highest line cap score I have ever had on one of my streams. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Here we go. It's time for game number 4. Alice looking to close it out here. SV hoping to bring this to a decider. We'll see what happens here. Game saying Tel's hoping for a game 4. Hoping for a game 4 is no more. Well, we're getting a game 4 whether I like it or not. But let's see what happens on this one. As both players getting themselves cleaned up, there were a couple of gaps and hangs that they dealt with and made it look easy, of course. About 30 lines in, 161K, make it 184K for SV and 166,000 for Alice. Hello, Winter. Welcome aboard. We're in the home stretch of an afternoon CTL battle between Alice and SV over here. Right now, Alice in a little bit of trouble there. But she is getting this board burnt down. Both players need to get their well open so they can get back to throwing down some Tetrises. Alice has it open. She'll get a Tetris. And now SV has it open. And SV going to throw down a Tetris. About a 530K pace for Alice and about a 580K pace, I can talk, yes, for SV. But I think it's safe to say neither player is exceptionally thrilled with how their pieces are playing out right now. But despite that, 75% the Tetris rate for SV, 59% for Alice, but she does have the well open. Just waiting for the long bar to show up. Now hitting up 90 lines in. It is SV with the lead of just under 2 Tetrises, 414,000 to 372,000. Now that we've reached turnover here, looks like SV has got a little bit of a bigger lead now, 484K to 390,000. So if this score holds, we're going to a decider. And Alice will get that dirty Tetris 1 row off the bottom. Trying to keep this one relatively close, but SV up by a few Tetrises here. And Alice it's not going to be a Tetris. That's just a dirty triple. She has one more Tetris before level 19. Will she go for the dirty level? She's set up for it. And she transitions at 468,000. Now set up for another left well, a dirtier left well. Gets it. And now we'll try to bring that over to the right side. SV, meanwhile, still has one more Tetris before 19. Will get it. That is a 603K transition for him, and he's going to throw down another Tetris. Right now, 576K for Alice, 678K for SV. So Alice with a little bit of work to do, trying to fight her way back into this one. As SV now up by 5 Tetrises into level 21. But Alice gets another Tetris. She's only trailing by a few, and SV is burning he is facing the drought that Alice saw a little earlier, this 34-piece drought. Now SV up high. But now SV trying to get this board brought down. He is up by a couple Tetris, but is still burning up high. Alice is gonna take the dependency and fill that up instead of going for the Tetris, and she is going to get one, only trailing by a Tetris and change now after being down by 5 earlier. But now SV has brought himself down, set up for a possible left well Tetris. He has it open. Now we'll need a long bar to show up. But worth noting that Alice is slightly ahead in the piece sequence, a few lines ahead as SV has caught up a little bit. So SV has the lead and also a little more runway to work with, but Alice doing everything she can to make sure this does not go to a game 5. And now with one more Tetris, Alice will hop into the kill screen. Meanwhile, SV still on level 27, just has now entered 28. And Alice now has the max out. Needed one burn after the kill screen to get the max out. She does have it. SV also with the max out. It's a close one, 1.008 million. They're separated by 20 points until that line clear right there. So now we'll see who can survive, who can get their board brought down, and who will end up reigning victorious in game number 4. Now Alice is going to need a 5-tap or she can't get the 5-tap over, and that's going to be a game number 5. We need more points as we're tied at 2 apiece. Let's go ahead and get that game number 5 started. It is time. It's all come down to this. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And in the meantime, I'm going to put my screen up so you can see what's going on. So
I was
there
about to
you
say. Thank you. All right. SV and Alice getting their game 5 action going on. How's everyone doing? All right. I gotta like rearrange my stuff here to take a good look at this. Dang, decider, bro. All right, simple action going for the first 4 lines here. SV getting that T tuck in there. Nice adjustment of the Z to try and get that J tuck in. Simul Tetris though. Both players are perfect right now. Yes, it is, Hana. Just for one game. Just for this one game. And SV getting to again, nothing fatal, but it's one of those things where if you do get into a dig against one of these players that it's Div 1, right? You're gonna your play will get advantage of if you get into a little dig like that. And now SV's actions has caused him to drop in the score deficit for a little bit here, about 1.5 Tetrises behind Alice right now. 160 after that Tetris, 121 for SV. Greatest of all crime. Yep, we'll call it that. Why not? And look at this pace from Alice here, 205 at 37 lines. So yeah, not perfect. I think there was one burned line here for Alice, but other than that, she's going strong here. So nearly 60,000 points in the lead here is for Alice. So definitely a good advantage you want to have going into 19 and beyond. About to reach 50 lines here for both players. 274 for Alice, 216 for SV. I see the comms name. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, the only thing that we're missing is my little doggo on the bottom. Every CTL stream that I've done always has my little doggo right above the little nameplate there. It's always a nice Easter egg for those who know. 365 for Alice, 307 for SV. So SV definitely in a groove again. Nice adjustment of that T to make room for that square, but this is a little bit of a sunken middle there, but does get the pieces to fill it out. As back Tetris ready. Still over 3 Tetrises behind here. And actually, when there's a similar line count, it's about 2.5 Tetrises, but we'll see how SV maybe will try and push here, either here or maybe later during 19. Alice definitely leaving the pressure on against SV here. Bit of a drought happening for both players. Both players getting high on the boards. Both players taking good skims, and there's the par for both Alice and SV, and getting 2 Tetrises. Or actually, wait, it looks like Alice was ready for 3 instead of 2 that SV had. But anyways, 2, 3 Tetrises still behind is SV. 551 for Alice, 493 for SV. Through the Joey Parker turn. Classic 100 lines here. Power of rolling. Exactly. 6 games, bro. Now you're giving me trauma of DAS League Season 1, bro. May no one ever remember that time in our life. 619 here for Alice. So that's 4. Is this 700 will? I'm not jinxing it, right? SV with a little bit of digging to do here. Again, just giving Alice room to expand this lead, especially, just waiting on this bar. Just has to burn. She can still get this. There it is. She's happy. 714 transition for Alice. For Knight here, and then a 617,000 for SV transition. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Bit of an awkward board, but still low for Knight to clear this up. Has a long bar dependency in column 2, and will fill it out. Has plenty of room here still against SV, but Tetris for SV, 717. Knight getting Tetris ready. Knight still trying to maintain an open right. Well, there it is. Tetris for 2 Tetrises for Knight. 813 at level 22. 751 for SV. Nice spin there, and gets the Tetris. Within 2 Tetrises away from Knight now. Good skims. These are nail-biting plays on top of the board, and there's another Tetris for her. Again, I think Alice still has that pace advantage from just such a great 18 transition. Had to take the triple. She didn't like it. But if you want to survive until 29, sometimes it has to be like that. Touches for SV. 857 for him. 892 for Knight here. And all right, nice skim for the what do you call it? The L accommodation there. Simul Tetris 2. And we could see a max into 26 for Alice, which does happen. SV covering up that right well is going to look for a J to get it open. Oh, wait, sets up the dirty left well. 2 rows off the bottom, but does SV get the bar, though? There is a drought forming, though. SV still trying to maintain an open left well here, but has to cover stuff up. Another Tetris for Alice. Oh, man. And again, this kind of not efficient play from SV is kind of costing him. 97,000 points in the deficit is for him. Max out for SV, 1.14 for Alice. Alice going into 29 with a B46. And then this one burn line for SV will transition him into 29. B15 now. Bit of a messy board here for Knight. Another Tetris for SV, but is closing in on this lead. Shrunk into less than a quarter of a Tetris. Or less than a third of a Tetris. Alice looking for some center well plays here, but SV opening up that right side does take the lead with that Tetris on level 20. Going into 21 here. Alice sets up Tetris for her. C22, C47 for SV. Has to uncover some lines, though. Is going to... Oh, hang of the square for SV. But opens the right side back up. Is about to get ready. Waiting for the bar. Oh, bit of a bad left side now. D01 for SV. D60 for Alice. Bit of a hang on the left side. I don't know if nothing can get over on that left side. And SV just needs one Tetris to take this game. And that's set and match. And we'll get the Tetris to take the lead. And there it is. SV takes game number 5. With the E, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And SV continuing to really go for this. There's the rollover at least. Looking for a 1.7. No J in sight. There it is. A beast too late. I don't think he's going to be open on time. Yeah, I needed a square or something. And it's going to be done at 1.625 million on the dot. Calm down, bro. Calm down. GG's SV. There it is. There's your winner. Hailing from the UK. I don't know how well he's doing in the division, but this definitely is going to get him some points. At least 5, you know. And Alice won't go away empty-handed. She still has 2 points to her name.
Well, look at that, 1,100 points. Alex with a T-spin. We'll bang down a Tetris. Cobra with this 1100.